Welcome to day 4 of the Mind, Body, Pelvic Health Bootcamp. I am Dr. Bree. I'm a doctor of physical therapy and I specialize in pelvic health. And if you're just joining me today, then please go back to the beginning. I really encourage you to watch days 1, 2, and 3 and do them before doing today's challenge, which is day 4. Today, I'm actually going to start with the holistic challenge, the kind of non-exercise part of today's challenge, which is the idea that how you start your day is how you live your day. So it's the idea of really priming your mind and body for an awesome day. Now that might mean that you need to get up a little bit extra early just to have more space in your mind and body, a little more quiet, a little more calm. And the idea here is that we're not going to get up and start our day by checking our phone or, immediately responding to other people's needs, whether that's our email, our text messages, looking at our Instagram or YouTube, or responding to our kids. If we have young kids at home, it can be really easy to get up when they do and just begin by responding to other people's needs. Now, I know this can be hard if you're a parent, if your kids are up at the crack of dawn. Me asking you to get up earlier than them might just be a lot. Or if you have to get to work really early, maybe you start your day at a really, really early job. And so it can be a lot for me to ask you to get up a little bit earlier. But I can tell you that your health is going to improve so much, mind, body, pelvic floor, if you give yourself a little extra time, space, and padding in the morning for peace, for quiet, for some deep breaths, maybe a brief little meditation, 1 or 2 minutes, a little extra space to do the exercise routine I'm about to show you, or just even more time to have an easy bowel movement. I mean, come on, we've all got to get up and go to the bathroom, and a lot of us like to start our day with a bowel movement. It's a really good way to start the day. And if we are stressed and running and responding to other people right away, it can make it hard to have an easy and smooth bowel movement where we're not having to push and strain. Just understand that a lot of people are constipated because they don't give themselves the time and the space to start their day out right, with peace, with breathing, with a nice big glass of water. In your glass of water, I highly recommend adding a pinch of sea salt, which actually helps you absorb the water into your body more easily. So a little pinch of salt and a squeeze of lemon or lime. That is so hydrating, and it also stimulates your bowels as well. So warm water, a little pinch of salt, and squeeze of lemon or lime is so helpful. And drink it down and take a few moments just to breathe and be in quiet before responding to the world. Okay, so that is the holistic challenge. I can't wait for you to give it a try and see what changes for you. The physical challenge for today is an exercise routine that you can do. It's 4 moves that you can do every day in your little bit of extra time and space and peace. And it helps to really begin moving your joints, moving your muscles, what I like to call watering your fascia. I'm not the only one that calls it this, but you can think of it as watering your fascia. So the connective tissue that really hooks you together from head to toe. It's called fascia, and it's throughout your body. It surrounds all of your muscles, all of your organs. It surrounds everything from head to toe, and it needs movement to stay supple and mobile and hydrated and not bound up and tight and ultimately painful. We want our bodies to move to not only help care for our joints and our muscles, but also to water our fascia too. Okay? Motion is lotion, movement is juice, movement is medicine. So movement heals. We also know that exercise is a really powerful way to soothe the nervous system too. So it's great for nervous system regulation. So these are the 4 moves that I like to do every morning. I'm going to show you an option on the floor, and I'm also going to show you a standing option. So the standing option will be in a little inset video, and it's going to be standing at a countertop. Now, the reason I'm showing you a standing option is, first of all, some people have knee issues and it's hard for them to get down on the floor, and other people just don't want to get down on the floor after they've gotten up and gotten out of bed. So totally understand if you want to do the standing version of all of these moves. You can try doing some of these moves that I'm going to show you on the floor. You can try doing them in your bed, but I don't really recommend it because beds are usually pretty squishy. And so it's better if you can do the floor moves actually on a firm surface like the floor. So here we go. Let's get to it. So the first move, and again, check out the inset video for a standing option, but the first move is to be on your back. And on an exhale, you're going to bring one knee up toward your shoulder and then the other knee up toward your shoulder. And in this position, you're simply going to have the knees nice and wide. So they're not hugged in like this. They're nice and wide, pulling toward your armpits. This helps to open up the pelvic floor and it just stretches your body in a new way. It also compresses the ascending and the descending colon, which is really important for digestion. So just begin by kind of rocking side to side, and you can even hug one knee a little closer than the other. If you're standing, your knees are going to be deeply bent and your back is straight, okay? So if you're standing, just be sure that your knees are deeply bent and your back is straight. It's not hunchy and rounded. So rocking side to side if you're on your back, pulling those knees into your chest, maybe even pulsing them up toward your shoulders on both sides, and breathing into your belly. Now, from this position, you are going to let your tailbone reach toward the floor. So it's not peeled off the ground anymore. It's reached toward the floor. Your knees are still nice and wide toward your shoulders. And in this position, you're going to straighten as much as you can and bend your legs. So straighten and bend your legs. And at the countertop, if you're standing, you can play with straightening one leg at a time or straightening both legs at the same time. Just try not to round and hunch your spine if you are standing. Try to keep your back really flat. Notice that since I'm on the ground right now, my back is automatically flat on the ground. But if you're standing, you'll have to watch that and make sure you're not rounding and hunching. Just feel this. This is so good for your whole lymphatic system, for your circulation of your blood and your lymph throughout your entire body. And you might find that as you go, you can stretch your legs a little bit straighter before you bend them again. Just breathe with it, stretching and bending. Oh, it feels so good. Stretch and bend and breathe. Stretch and bend and breathe. One more time. Stretch and bend and breathe. All right. Now, come to your side if you're on the ground and press yourself up. And we're going to come onto our hands and our knees. Now, what we're going to do is a push-up. You know, if you want to, you can do it on your knees and hands like this, like a more of a regular push-up. I'm actually going to show you on my hands and knees with a bend at my hips. This is probably the easiest version, but I still really love it. It's just a nice way to get a great arm and chest workout. And it really feels good on the pelvic floor. So if you have any prolapse, this is super, super safe to do it on your hands and knees. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna start with your fingers pointing in and your elbows pointing out. And a push-up is just an elbow bend. You're just bending your elbows. My friend Tandy Gutierrez of Unicorn Wellness always says that a push-up is just an elbow bend. So you're going to bend your elbows and work your head toward the floor, and then exhale, push up. So 5 times. This is really working the chest muscles. So we inhale down and exhale up. It's also working the arms and the shoulders. Exhale up. One more. Now, if you're standing at the countertop, you'll be in a push-up-like position, but do the same arm thing just at the countertop. Now, we're going to change it so we're focusing more on our triceps, the back of our arms. So face your fingers straight ahead, and you are now going to bend your elbows, but keep your elbows at your sides. Bend your elbows, keeping them close to your sides, and exhale up. If you're standing at the countertop, your body's straight like a plank, and it's the same thing. Your elbows are close to your sides, pointing toward the back of the room, and then you exhale as you straighten your arms. So bend your elbows and then exhale as you straighten your arms, whether you're standing at the countertop or down here with me. Nice job. Okay, take a little break and roll out your hands if you were on your hands and knees, or even if you're at the countertop. And next, we're going to do a hip extension on your elbows. So if you're standing at the countertop, you can put your elbows on the countertop. And if you're on the ground, you put your elbows on the floor so that your forearms are parallel. So elbow under your shoulders, forearms are parallel. And if you're standing at the countertop, your elbows are on the counter. Now leg behind you. Strongly lift your belly button and your pelvic floor. Lift them in and up so you're hugging your core muscles in, gently in and up toward your spine, protecting your low back, keeping everything stable and strong. And we are lifting and lowering 8 to 10 times with just this one leg. So whether you're standing at the countertop or here, we want to keep the back, the spine, nice and long. Try not to let anything move except the leg. So don't let your back arch like this or round. It's nice and straight and strong and long as we move that leg. Keep breathing. This is so good for your glute strength. It helps balance your pelvic floor muscles with your glute strength. Keep going. And let's just do one more and release. Now before we rest, let's go straight to the other side. So lift that pelvic floor and low abs, strongly hug your core in and up, and we lift and lower. Try to make sure that that leg is going straight out behind you. And especially if you're standing at the countertop, make sure that your back is not overly arching. The leg won't lift that high. It's not about how high the leg lifts. It's about working the butt muscle, isolating that butt cheek. Breathe. And we want to do 8 to 10 on each side. So we're probably about done here. And release. Okay, after all of that work, let's release with some hip circles. So if you're standing, then I highly recommend putting your hands behind your head and rolling out your hips in some hip circles. Hands behind your head and rolling out your hips. If you're on your hands and knees, then just circle your booty on the wall behind you. Now go the other way with your hip circles, circling out the hips. Breathing and wrapping it up here so you feel like you're even on both sides. And that's all. You're done. Now, those 4 moves were the knee to chest, and you straightened and bent the legs. Then we did the push-ups or elbow bends. Then we did the hip extension. And then we did the little booty circles. If you want to, you could also add some cat and cow. This is a wonderful move. So good for your pelvic floor, your low back, and your entire body. But that's just a little extra bonus that you can add or not. And you can do it standing as well if you don't want to be on the ground. So enjoy that little 4-move workout routine. And remember, how you start your day is how you live your day. So keep that in mind. See how it feels to put your alarm clock for a little bit earlier so that you have time and space in your schedule to do this movement routine. I can't wait to see and hear how it goes for you. Please leave me a comment and let me and my team know how it feels for you to start your day with movement, with a big glass of water, with some salt and lemon or lime. It's going to improve everything for you. Your mental health, your emotional health, your pelvic health will be primed. Your core muscles will be primed for the rest of the day. And your digestion is going to love you for it. Okay? So if you want more details about today's challenge and kind of why it matters, why it's important, read the video description. And also in the video description, there is a link for you to get all 10 days of the challenge sent to you by email. So be sure to sign up for that if you're interested. And that's it for now. Come back for tomorrow's challenge, day 5. It's another one that's going to be great for your digestion. You're going to love it. And until next time, remember, eat clean, move every day, and you will shine brighter. I'll see you next time.